Brazil's national squad, players on multi-million-pound contracts planning their assault on a record 6th World Cup. But here in the hills above Rio, they're not immune to the street protests and discontent in Brazil over the vast sums of money being spent on this tournament.
The protesters represent us. Most of the Brazilian players come from difficult living conditions, and we also want better things for the country.
With more than 1,000 local journalists watching their every move, keeping themselves focused won't be easy for Neymar and his teammates. Carlos Alberto captained arguably Brazil's greatest side.
This is the best team ever. Come. The best.
He says that if today's team is to emulate those feats, the players will have to cope with the pressure, when nothing less than another title will do.
Well, the pressure in Brazil always is the same. Because for us, the best is the first place. The second place and the last is the same.
It's a lot to expect when you consider the actual state of the game in Brazil.
Despite the dominance of the national team and the obvious passion of Brazilian South football, the domestic club game is actually pretty weak and financially troubled. This is a game between two of the country's biggest sides, Fluminense and São Paulo, yet there are barely 10,000 people here inside the Maracanã Stadium.
Most top players are based abroad. TV companies schedule late kickoffs around soap operas, and endless legal rows have undermined the attraction of the national game.
We'll see what this team does this year, though, and I suspect that if they manage to pull off a victory, people will be feeling quite good about the state of Brazilian football again.
Football is in the blood here, and while everyone wants another Brazilian World Cup win, that might simply mask the growing disconnect between these players and those who run the game. Woodrow Davis, BBC News, Rio de Janeiro.